All right, folks. I want to welcome you guys to our Tuesday evening. It's a week late meeting because last week a lot of stuff was going on with homecoming and all that parent meeting. Um, I am in my car, just so you guys know. I've got children at a football practice, or I got a child at a football practice, and my wife had other stuff she had to do. So I am multitasking here. Um, but let's start off with a quick prayer, and then I'll jump right into the things that we're hoping to just talk about tonight. And I'll leave when if we have some questions, I'll leave Mr. Eichstead to kind of direct us on questions and whatnot, because my phone I just can't see a lot of stuff. So, but let's start in prayer. Gracious God, thank you so much for Lord for the start of the second quarter and what bright things can come out of this second quarter, Lord, you have in store for us, and we are excited about that. Lord, I thank you for a great last week, for a great homecoming week, for students that were involved and excited about it, and a dance that went off really well. Lord, I thank you for our teachers and our students being in right now. And let this time be a time to talk about how we can further our mission here of helping these students have not only a great life here on earth, but in eternity above. In your name we pray. Amen.
Dad, did you pray?
So, and yes, there's my son Jackson. Ja- Jackson's a huge Lion King fan, so he wants us to pray for Mufasa, but we won't be doing that right now. Um, First off, again, I mentioned the prayer. I want to say how excited I was about what happened at homecoming. Our student council, if you have a chance, if you have a child that's involved in the student council, they did an amazing job. It was fantastic and planned. And Mrs. Urban is our staff advisor on that. And so obviously I'm thankful for her. Seeing our kids step up and lead, set up, take down, everything just went great. The whole week, the scavenger hunt, the kids had to be extra creative. And so if you have a chance, let kids know just how great a job they did. And being at the dance on Saturday night was super fun. They did a good job of not cuddling up. There wasn't anything about any masks. Everybody followed the rules, and it made for a really, really fun time. So blessed by that, and just I don't know. It's probably one of the best homecomings for dance wise that I've ever been a part of. So it was a blessing, and your kids did a great job. So that's number one. Number two, I want to say some great news about esports. It is quickly launched, and so for people that have donated towards that, we've got 15 kids now, 14 or 15 kids that are excited about this and being part of it. I was actually stepped in on them today after school, and just watching them, they're really fired up about what they're doing. And actually, we're in first place in our district right now, tied for first. So with our A team, and our B team is 1-1. So some neat things are happening there. And what that told us, when you have 15 kids instantly go in, it was a need we didn't even know we had. And so I want to thank those of you that have supported that so far and helped us launch that. We couldn't do it with this year's available funds by ourselves. It's been helped out big time by some donations. So thank you. Wow. Uh, Other things that we're doing, obviously, start of second quarter. We've got students that are struggling in some ways, and I think COVID is definitely part of the blame to that. And so we have Mrs. Moore on campus, and we're going to change her role a little bit, as she's been kind of running our overflow, and the overflow is kind of on pause right now because we don't need it with kids being on campus every day. Mrs. Moore is going to turn into that person that's reaching out to our students and just making sure they're doing okay, and being that kind of voice in their ear to make sure they're turning in work, and getting the support those kids need, besides just meeting with teachers on the side. Like, she's going to be an extra support there for us. And so don't be surprised if Mrs. Moore reaches out to you. It's really specifically to make sure your child's doing well. If we have any concern, she's going to be the one that's reaching out very quickly and make sure she's going to help support our teachers in that effort. So we're excited to be able to add that. Um, Going with our teachers, our office hours. So Fridays, we would suggest, like, if students want to meet with teachers, just make sure they request it so our teachers are ready to go. So on Fridays, we'd say from 1 to 2, but our teachers are going to flex and probably, if you need to meet at a certain time, but just make sure our students know that they need to be requesting that time, so that our teachers know, like, yeah, that I'm needed. It's kind of disappointing for teachers to kind of be there and not have anybody call at times, or not call, but kind of message in. It's frustrating. So what we're asking right now is that students kind of just email a teacher or reach out to the teacher in person and say, hey, I'd like some extra time with you on Friday from blank time to blank time. But I really expect that to be from like 1 to 2, just because I know most people want to start their weekend. And as we have half days, that's kind of a joy that students have. But along with that, with it being second quarter, we are going to start having Friday after school kind of staying on campus for students that need it. So whether it be for grades struggling or whether it be for attendance, we're going to start having Friday after school going on. So please don't be surprised by that. You might be getting some notifications from Mr. Eichstead here in the near future. Just because of absences, we have some students that are way over the absence limit right now, and we have to start addressing that, or else they may lose credit for the semester, and we don't want that to happen. And so we're going to start putting out messages about any kids that are over the limit with absences. Another positive thing going on is not this week, but next week we're going to do Pink Week, and basically, with breast cancer awareness, we want our kids, and I went and talked to one of our classes about it once I came up with this idea, and they were like, yes. And so next week is going to be Pink Week. And so if you've got pink pants, pink shorts, a pink shirt, you want to wear that stuff every day. We're excited to have our students, bring awareness to breast cancer, and honestly, cancer in general. Like the more we can empower our students and think about that, hopefully the better they take care of themselves in the future. Just bring awareness to this disease. So Pink Week next week, and if you want to take part, I invite you to take part as well. So we'll see what happens. Other than that, another one that I had on my plate is planning. Obviously, we sent out why am I blanking on it? A Survey Monkey to you all, and that really kind of talked about what are we going to do after Thanksgiving, and it really, you guys have led us in a great direction with your inputs and ideas and insights, and I know there's certain levels of concern from very low to very high, and so I'm going to narrow it down to this right now. Where I really see us going is either A, we're going to be back on our pods for possibly a week or two, or B, we'll need to be fully online, and that's I'm not making a decision one way or the other on those two options, but that's just to give you guys an idea that we are looking at it, and what's going to drive that is where are we seeing flu, where are we seeing COVID at that point in time when we're coming back is going to guide us. So we've got about a month where we're going to watch this, and we're going to try to let you know as soon as we can. But I think that answer comes down to us being patient. But I wanted to narrow it down to you for you. So yes, it's either we're going to be in pods, or we're going to be in we're going to be in fully online. And Mrs. Chandrahasan, that's a great question. Yes, those pods are going to be very different. We're actually going to focus these pods purely because this is about social distancing. It's not really it's about it's about social distancing, and so we're going to really focus on people being in friends groups for social stuff rather than for sports. We're going to focus on the social side of this. Sorry, my son in the background talking. Let's see, last part of pod stuff, again, I hope we don't have to be 100% online, but it may happen. And so I want us to prep our kids for that because I know it's been frustrating for them. But if numbers are looking bad, we need to be prepared for that. But we're looking far ahead is after Christmas. Well, what does that lead us to after Christmas then, Mr. Maynard? I'm not as concerned about Christmas just because there's a little bit more time after Christmas before we start school again. But again, I would say the worst case scenario for that one would be we're back in pods for abbreviated time there to start the year out. But I'm really hoping that we can be in a very pod as normal as we can. So just to give you we're thinking about that as well too. So that's that. Mr. Eichstead, what other things do you have in mind?
Just a couple of reminders or things that could help us out is reminding that kids need to bring their lunches and water bottles. We just can't allow deliveries to happen on campus right now. So if you just remind kids, bring their lunch. We can't have lunches delivered or brought in by any of the different meal delivery services. That just puts folks at risk. So if you could help us out with that, and then students need to be online or on campus. Not, oh, I woke up late today, so I'll show up for third period on. If you're an online student only, because that's what's safe for you and your family right now, that's one thing. But the kind of like a la carte, I'm gonna go to class today, but not tomorrow. I'm gonna go for that makes it really difficult for teachers to plan. Because if I know I've got 12 kids on campus and 4 who are online, and I plan to teach that day, and then all of a sudden I've got the opposite, or I've got 6 and whatever. It really makes the teachers have to get on their toes and do different planning for the day. So if you're online, great. If you're on campus, great. And if there's an exception to that rule, because you have a certain thing that's coming up, certainly please communicate that with us, and we can work around that as an exception. But the cherry picking of classes makes it really difficult on us. So that was a couple of things. And then attendance is really essential. Kids being in class is super, super important. Mr. Mayor, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, I just want to let the families know, like, we're going to send out a survey, again, a survey monkey to you all, just so you can let us know, like, hey, this is what we're planning on. So whether it be we're 100% on campus, we're 100% off campus, we're Tuesdays, Thursdays, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just so we have a better tracking measure of students. So we'll ask you, like, the name of your students, and then what's kind of the plan, and then a free response area, just saying, hey, we're expecting, like Mr. Ikes had said, after Thanksgiving, we're probably going to be gone for a week, or whatever that may be, just so we know and we can plan. I'm sorry, Mr. Ikes, go ahead.
So those are the kind of rule things, and just some exciting things, like esports is taking off. We're going to have one group who's competing, who's been competing. We got another group who's getting ready to fire up. TAPS is actually offering esports, so we're starting up that group as well in kind of a different game. Volleyball is going on right now. I got them down like right here in my lower corner. I'm watching the game as I sit at home because we're streaming those. So we're going to keep trying to stream volleyball games, basketball games for those of you who want to be involved but can't be there in person. Basketball is going to be starting up here soon in early November. Robotics is kicking off. So there's a lot of stuff going on campus, and just encourage your kids if they want to, jump in and try things. We would love to have them do so. The more involved they are, the more connected they are, the more homes they find on campus, the more successful they're going to be academically, socially, spiritually. So just encourage them to give things a shot. You don't have to be a established award-winning programmer to come out and build robots. We will teach you. Mr. Schutz and I, that's what we're there for. Same for sports and esports or whatever other things they want to get involved in. That's what we do, is try and get kids plugged in and involved. I think that's I checked everything on my list, Mr. Mayor, unless you're thinking anything else that we missed.
No, I think we're good here. Are there any questions from parents out there?
We're good. I don't see anything.
All right, well.
So go ahead.
Oh yeah, so if there's no questions, parents, thank you again just for all your support, and thank you for you guys at home. By the way, I want to do a parent shout out here. Mrs. Chandrahasan, and honestly, let's see here, Mr. Davila. I'm trying to think of other parents I saw involved, but there were lots of them. Ms. Chandrahasan, if you wanted to say something real quick, but for all of you that were involved in setting up and the taking down of homecoming from a parent standpoint, I thank God for you. It was amazingly done, and just I know Mrs. Chandrahasan played a big role in the creative side of it. So thank you, Mrs. Chandrahasan.
You're welcome. I was super happy this year. We had so many volunteers come out on Sunday to decorate the school. It was so nice to see a lot of freshmen, which was so refreshing to see the new parents and the new faces come out. And the student council, you're right, did an amazing job the day of homecoming, you know, just setting up, and they had a plan, and they really did it well. So I just wanted to thank everyone for helping. And that's what it takes. You know, it takes, you know, we didn't take very long to do it because we had a lot of volunteers. So it really worked well. So I want to thank everybody. And I will say next Wednesday, we have another spirit night at Willie's. So just save the date for next Wednesday. We'll have another monthly spirit night at Willie's. But that's it for me.
Awesome. So Willie's it is next Wednesday. If there's no other questions, we'll call this thing good then. And again, but if you guys need any support, any help with anything, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to Mr. Eichstead or myself, and we'll do everything we can to support you guys. So, all right. Well, I think that's it. So God bless you guys, and we'll talk soon.
Did Jesus,
Jesus died for our sins, yes.
he rose again?
He did. He rose again.